The camera needs to be tipped a little bit to the left. Oh, sorry, the right.
Yeah. My page numbers are correct.
Good.
You can follow that.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. I needed tonight so much.
Yes, indeed.
I'm ready.
I can't believe it's almost the end of our holiday cycle.
You can't? My neck totally believes it. It totally believes it. I know it. Simchat Torah and then nap time.
Yes. A little piece of trivia as people walk in. There's only 1 month without a Jewish holiday in all of the Jewish calendar, and it's called Cheshvan, and it is the holiday. It is the month that is about to come up. So it's like Judaism front loads the holidays, and then it gives you a chance to breathe. But we have a holiday every week, and that holiday is called Shabbat. And so we're going to turn to page 142 as we join together in the singing of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem
L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Tzedchem L'Shalom,
Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem,
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There's a teaching that I always love about Shabbat, which from time to time I share. It's a teaching by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. The idea being that when people want to build great things to their gods, they often build beautiful cathedrals, Disney-like castles. But Jews don't do that. Jews instead build what Heschel calls cathedrals in time, which means that the great things about the Jewish tradition are not the physicalness of this world. It's the holidays, it's Shabbat, it's the prayer services, it's things that are time-bound and time-required. And so there are times that are joyous and there are times that are doubly joyous. And this holiday season, we've happened that many of our kind of most important or key holidays are actually falling on Shabbat itself. And so this holiday, we commemorate or we observe both the end of Sukkot. Tomorrow night, we're going to dance with our Torahs as we celebrate the end of our Torah reading cycle and begin anew. And it also is a holiday where tomorrow morning, we're going to begin to pray for rain. Because in Israel, being a Mediterranean climate, it only rains 6 months out of the year. And so the official start of the rainy season, to get all of the rain that it needs until it stops raining around Passover time, happens now. And so we begin that process of praying for rain during what is called Shmini Atzeret, which is the holiday that we are beginning to observe as the sun went down tonight. So with that, we're going to move toward another kind of celebration, and that celebration is one of a bat mitzvah. And so I want to call you up to be joined by your parents as you prepare to light our candles and lead us in Kiddush.
Yeah.
So come on up. Come on up. So Jackie, come on up.
Come on up, parents.
Yes.
Yeah, come
Yep.
on up. You're both coming
Yep.
up.
And you're going to hear the Kiddush that we're going to do is our Shabbat Kiddush. We're actually at the very end going to join together one more time for our festival Kiddush. So you ready for the English readings?
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Take your time. You got it. Right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav metzivanu lehadlik ner של שבת ושל יום טוב.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Lesson first, then wine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Eloheinu
melech haolam. You got it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. Well done.
All right, you can take a seat. Congratulations. We're going to move forward in our prayer book. We're on page 128 as we join together in the words of Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachman. Yedid Nefesh Avarachman. Neshoch Avdecha El ya na 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 el ritzonecha yarutz avdecha kemo ayal ishtachavei ya na 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 na
ידיד נפש, ידיד נפש אב רחמן, ידיד נפש אב רחמן, משוך עבדך אל רצונך, משוך עבדך ya na 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 el ritzonecha.
We turn forward now, page 138.
Dodi lirat kalai ananai 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 bene Shabbat
Mekabelai ida lecha dodi lirat kalai yananai 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 bene Shabbat Mekabelai shamor v'zachor v'diborecha ishmianu Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemu tiferet veli. Let's hear you. Lechadodi lirat kala yananai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabelai idai lechadodi lirat kala yananai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabelai likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem mesucha sof ma'aseh b'makshavat. Let's hear you. Lechadodi lirat kala yananai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabelai idai lechadodi lirat kala yananai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekabelai. Verse number 5, Hitorari. Hitorari, kiva orek uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayk. Let's hear you. Lechadodi lirat kalai ananai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Lechadodi lirat kalai b'nei Shabbat. We rise together, verse 9.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי
בורי חלה לך דודי לקראת חלה ירה יבה יללה פני שבת נקרלה יאי די לך דודי לקראת חלה ירה יללה פני שבת. One more time, פני שבת a little bit faster, Bob. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת, נקרלה, ידי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת, נקרלה.
We jump forward in our prayer books, this being a festival, to page 394 for the Baruch Hu.
Join me.
Yai nai nai, yai nai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai.
La 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 together.
Yai nai 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 nai, yai nai 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 nai, yai nai 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 nai.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam le'olam va'ed.
We're seated together. There's a beautiful text that's quoted on page 397. Hafoch bach v'hafoch bach. Turn Torah and keep turning it, for everything can be found in it. Keep your eyes attached to it, spend your lifetime in its study, never budge from it, for there's no better way of life than this. That, by the way, is the theme for the next 2 days, that we should always take our Torah and turn it and turn it and turn it. The truth is, like any good piece of literature, the Torah does not change, but we do. Each year of our life, we come to it slightly different, almost like looking in the same prism from different angles as the light shines down. The colors that we see are dazzling, but only because our perspective has changed. The way to get the most out of Torah is just to live your life, to grow and allow it to be a mirror for you, allowing it to show you the truth of the lives that you are currently living. And so this year we return to another cycle. We end our Torah and we begin anew over these next 2 days, knowing that hopefully as we encounter these sacred stories, they're just a little bit different because of the full lives that we have led over these past 365 days. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Page 398. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha
חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו,
ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. Together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך.
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך וביתך ובלבתך בדרך ושפך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם.
אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
Move forward in our prayer book now, page 406, Mi Chamocha.
Indeed, the last 48 hours to get to sing this groovy tune, and it goes like this. Together,
Mi Chamocha Ba'alim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osef Eleh,
Nora Tehilot Osef. One more time, man, לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. נאמר כי יפקד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 408.
And also the screen, I think. Yes? A little Matisyahu to bring us into Shabbos.
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
ופרוס עלינו.
Oh, sorry, Ushmor Tzitenu.
Uvoenu
L'chaim.
l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam.
We join together.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. And I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds me, I know someday it'll all turn. Let's hear you. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play.
One day,
One day,
one day,
one day, one day,
one day, one day,
one day,
one
one day, one day.
one day.
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu.
שומרנו שומרנו לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
In a moment, we're going to move into our Amidah prayer, first saying this one line on page 410. And as we do, I'll invite you to pray silently. So keep a finger on page 468, which is where our Amidah begins, knowing, by the way, that this is the last time in our whole 6-month cycle that we're actually going to pray for dew rather than rain, because tomorrow we begin praying for rain.
That's right.
But I want to say a word about the line that we're about to say, because it seems innocuous. Like, why do we say this one line? There's a big divide between the holidays and Shabbat, insofar as human agency is much more important in the holidays. If you think about it, you were born on whatever day of the week it was, and there is no role that humans play in determining Shabbat. Shabbat just falls every 7 days, and it's fallen every 7 days since you were a kid. The holidays are different, though. Because in order to know when Rosh Hashanah starts, and then when Yom Kippur starts, and then when Sukkot starts, and thus Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, you need to see the moon in the sky and declare the beginning of the month, which actually means that humanity control the holiday time in a very different way than they control Shabbat. And should, for example, in the ancient world, the authorities see this moon or not see the moon, that could determine exactly when the holiday falls. And so this kind of statement, and Moses declared the appointed festivals of Adonai, the people of Israel, actually is a testament, it's a statement to the power of humanity to decide time, to effect our holiday cycle. And it's a pretty profound thing, actually. And so we fall kind of in a continuum between us controlling time, which is the holidays, and us submitting to time, which is Shabbat. Page 410.
וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני אל בני ישראל.
We rise together, page 468.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Together. No rush. Can let your prayers keep flying. Maybe you think you're done and there's more. Here in this room, in the Zoomiverse, the YouTubeverse, take a moment to lift our hearts up together when you're ready and sing about this perfect kind of peace that's unending and abundant and flowing. We want so badly, even though we don't seem to be able to know how to find it. So we chant together. Perhaps tonight's the night. Page 488.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav bar Yisrael amecha tazim leolam. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Please join me on page 511 as we have this opportunity, as we do each time we gather together in prayer, to offer a prayer for those in healing, a Misha Berach. And I'll look around the room in a few moments, and you'll also see a screen that will have names on it. And when I do look around, you can add those names out loud if you wish. Misha Berach Avotenu Vimotenu, Avraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. The one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. She's allowed to cry. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say amen. Please join me. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say amen.
So in a moment, we're going to learn a little bit and share some words of Torah, and we've got a special guest we're going to invite up. But before we do that, we not only have one simcha in the room, because Jackie will become bat mitzvah tomorrow, but we have another one. We've got a couple who is going to be married in a few short weeks in the Cayman Islands. And so in honor of that, and in honor of, we said basically a few of the Jewish prayers earlier today as well. We're going to call the two of you up. So Eric and Rachel, the two of you stand here in front of your family and in front of the community. And I alluded to this when I was talking before as we were saying those prayers in the chapel, but the fact that I love the fact that the two of you are such a team. I know that the two of you have disparate interests. You have really your own independent lives, but they're woven in such an incredible way together. And you seem to get each other in a really profound way. One of the things about couples that can be a little bit different is that one's quirks can actually drive one apart. One's hobbies can drive one apart. But that's not the way it is with you. What's important to each of you immediately becomes important to the other, even if you don't do it yourself. You understand exactly who that other person is fundamentally and profoundly, which means you don't only love it, but you get it. And in doing so, it means that you can be wholly supportive, wholly loving, wholly embracing. I mean, the fact, Eric, that you jumped in to Judaism the way that you did, that you knew it was important to Rachel, and you showed up, the two of you, every single week with your in-laws in the back, religiously, and I mean religiously both praying with gusto, but also you were here all the time. And the fact that you, Rachel, are scuba diving on your honeymoon, something that I know you've grown to appreciate over the course of time, means just that you get each other. You are there for each other. You communicate well, you're present, and it's going to be those things that are the ingredients of a good marriage. Everybody loves their husband or wife, hopefully, on the day of their wedding. But not everybody likes each other as much as the two of you like one another. And it's actually the liking each other that is going to make your marriage succeed. And so I hope that you not only love each other for years to come, but you truly like each other too. Because if you continue to like each other as much as you've shown me that you do, your marriage is in for many, many years of happiness. And so I offer you this blessing. Misha berach avotenu Avraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech et hechatan v'hakala, v'yatzliach et darkam asher yalchu ba mehayom v'hala. May the God who blessed our ancestors in every generation bless the two of you. May God guide you on your life's journey, and may your marriage be a joy and a good example to all who know you. May you fashion a Jewish home worthy of praise, a secure refuge where you find tranquility during all your days together. And may your love inspire and bless your family and friends and the whole community of Israel. As together we say, Amen. And so with this talis that you're wearing now, I'll invite you to wrap both of you under it as I offer you this blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'kuneka. May God cause God's face to shine upon you and give you grace. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasemecha shalom. May God always smile upon you, granting you a life of wholeness and peace. As together we say, Amen. And we sing, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Mazel tov. You can take a seat. So I want to say a few words about this week's Torah portion. And then I want to invite up Rabbi Rinat who is going to say a few words as well. I want to welcome her and those Israeli teens who are here from her community. She'll tell you a little bit more about her community in a little bit. And I want to thank Wendy Starr. If you, by the way, if you haven't met Wendy, Wendy is our new assistant director of our religious school / teen person at our congregation, and she's doing an incredible job. And Wendy heard about this visit only a few weeks ago and jumped right in and has gotten our teens here to be with these Israeli teens, and we're really blessed, Wendy, to have you in our community. So I want to just say a few words about the way our Torah ends, because in a way it ends on a kind of tragic note. Moses has been wandering in the desert for 40 years with the people, and he's unable to cross into the promised land. Now, he made a few strategic mistakes along the way, and after all of that time, the last scene in the Torah is that God brings him up to a mountain to look out over the Jordan River into a land that he will never step foot in, that of the land of Canaan, which eventually becomes the land of Israel. And in a way, there's a certain piece of Moses' story that feels unsated, as if only God would have let him, even after the people, cross over just to put his toe on that land, just to feel what the earth feels like under his feet. And I've been thinking a little bit about that in light of the fact that I am a proud diasporan rabbi. Now, I love Israel. And I was there this summer and I studied abroad there. And every single time that I'm able to go back is a complete gift. And at the same time, I know that I'm not moving to Israel anytime soon. Some of it is ideological. I actually believe that the world needs both a very strong Israel and a very strong diaspora at the same time. And part of it is practical. There's no such thing as a nurse practitioner in Israel. That's what my wife does for a living. And Israel doesn't need another American Reform rabbi moving there. Israel has an incredible wealth of really talented, homegrown Israelis who are revitalizing the Reform movement. They don't need me. They need people just like our Israeli teens who are going to maybe add their stamp to liberal Judaism in Israel. And so I'm here. I'm here for the long term. And at the same time, there's a little piece of me that feels like I see what's happening in Israel, and I'm looking out from that mountain, unable to really go down and to affect change. Unless you live in Israel, unless you're marching every day or every week in one of the protests that are happening across the country, and not just as I was, being a tourist and going to one just to see what it's about. If you're voting, if you are standing for your rights, if you are speaking to your neighbor, if you're in it, if you're immersed in it, it's yours. And as much as I truly believe that land is mine, I also feel like Moses looking at it from afar. And so whenever we have the ability to be able to engage with Israelis who are on the ground living their Judaism there, it is an incredible gift. And the job as American Jews, because we cannot be fully immersed in it just by the nature of living here, is to remain in as much dialogue as possible, to shout over from that mountaintop, hoping that they shout back, adding our perspective, hearing theirs, supporting Israeli communities, both financially, with ideas, and also by sending people over. And the kind of exchange that's going to go on tonight between our teens and these Israeli teens who are here, I think is profound insofar as both groups are going to grow. And so it's my pleasure to be able to call up their leader, Rabbi Rinat, who's doing amazing work in Israel right now, to tell us a little bit about what's going on the ground, so that we from that mountaintop looking in might be able to at least shout over and make a little bit of a difference.
שלום. היי. שלום לכולם. How are you? You're looking good. That's you okay? תודה רבה. we are now the Ushpizin. It's the end of Sukkot, but we still Ushpizin and thank you for the welcoming. And thank you, Wendy, for organizing that. So I just want to introduce you. Can you stand up, please? Ba'u Hamudim. The magnificent five, we choose them by names. Omer, Shira, Shir, and Shachar. By names. So it will be easy for you. So say hi. And thank you so much for welcoming us here. I will tell you a bit about this group and a bit about what's happening in Israel, or I introduce myself first. My name is Rinat. I look 12, I know. I'm 45. And I grew up in Jerusalem for a very traditional family. I have 6 brothers and sisters. I'm the 7th one. And we all the streams. I have 3 Orthodox, 2 Reform, 1 Conservative, and 1 secular in one house. So you can imagine how fun it is to be in the Shabbat dinner, fighting each other. We are 2 rabbis. I'm a rabbi, Reform rabbi, and my brother is an Orthodox rabbi. And to make it more complicated, think about all the thing that you think about politics in Israel. We have it all. I have very right, like Ben Gvir right, and I have very left. All of them in my family. So when we are talking about family, also in here and also in Israel, families, as you know, is a very complicated thing. And when you have it all together, it becomes more complicated. But we love each other. And I will say, this year was a very hard year for us. We even separated WhatsApp. That was hard. But I know you here in the States understand that also, when it comes very complicated, when politics get in. So one WhatsApp was just for fighting, and the other WhatsApp was for, hi, I'm here. Like photos and things like that, like hush puppies, woo. So that was what we said. And I will tell you that in this year, I am as a Reform rabbi, and a lot of us in the Reform movement ask, what is our duty as a rabbi in these days? Should we go to all the protests? Should we take all of our congregation to the protest? Or should we just, let everyone keep their mind what they like to feel community, okay? And not just, if you think like that, you're not welcoming. That's very, very delicate. And I understood that my job is to bring the hope. And the most important protest is holding the hope. And as long as I will hold the hope, because there was time this year that we thought, even today, like the society of Israel can collapse. Like the Zionist idea, after 2,000 years, can collapse. Hachalom, the dream of a land of a Jew. We need to keep this dream. This is my job, to keep this dream alive. So that was my thing. We go to the protest, we did it all. But I always tell to people, hope, this is the thing, and we can do it together. And I will say about these 5 that are here, we have 3 aims for this delegation. It's a small delegation, as you see, 5 kids. They all been bar bat mitzvah in my community. And we wanted to, 1, to get to know youth and teens from United States, for the family, for the big family. Second, we wanted to feel and to ask and to see how is it to be minority and not majority. In Israel, you know, being a Jew is not everybody is a Jew. Not everybody, but the majority is Jewish people. The calendar is Jewish calendar. So you don't have to do something in order to be a Jew. And when you come to the States and you understand that from all the population, just 2%, right, are Jews, whoa, to understand it. So this is the second aim. And the third aim is to talk about justice and to take it with us to Israel. What is justice? What's there in there that can, you know, yesterday we've been in Philly, and we saw the Liberty Bell, right? Which is broken, because liberty can be broken. And you have to work very hard to keep it together. So when I think about Moses, you know the story about two and a half tribes? There were 2 tribes from the 12 that said to Moses, you know what? We don't want to go into the land of Israel. We are happy here. We found a good land, very good for our population. We want to stay here. He was very angry. What? You won't come fight with us? You won't be with us? What? You want to be a part of the Jewish nation? And they said, no, we will fight with you. We promise you to be the chalutzim. We will be the first one. We will be, but please promise us that after that, we can come back to this land. It took him a while, but then he say, okay, you know what? Maybe we can make a family that not everyone in the same place. But he said another thing. I will make it's a 2.5 tribes. I will take 1 tribe and I will, make it divided. And some of them will be here and some of them will be there. And that will make them have to be with connection to each other. So I want to, Shira, can you raise your hand? So Shira here is Shevet HaMenashe. She is from the half tribe. How I know that? She have family in the States, and she grew up in Israel. And when we are here, she said, I have my aunt. Can I go and see her? Of course, because this is the 2.5 tribes. We have connection to each other by family, not just by values. We are really connected. And this is one of the wisdom of Moses to say, okay, there will be diaspora, but the diaspora need to be, as you said, with connection to each other. I don't know how much time I have. We are rabbis. So our congregation have a lot of families like Shira. They are from the half tribes that have connection. And it makes us believe we don't want, as you say, we don't want all the Jews to come to Israel. It's okay. Stay here. It's good for you. It's good for us. But we want connection. And for me, I want them to feel that even when they are 13, 14, and 16, to know the big family. So 8 years ago, when I was 12, I grew up in the Reform community. That's my brother told me one day, oh, you know, there is camp, go there. And from there, I'm here. From this moment, I did it all. I've been the head of the youth movement and educator. And in some point, they told me, okay, now it's a rabbi. This is what you need to do. I did it. And 8 years ago, there were 5 families that called the Reform movement and said, you know, we are in a city called Shoham, which is a small city, 20,000 people, okay? And in these 20,000 people, we have 20 Orthodox synagogues. For 25,000, 20 Orthodox synagogue, not even one liberal, whatever, not conservative, not nothing. And they say there is high holidays and we want to pray together. Liberal, pluralistic, shivioni, equal. So they came to the movement and the movement sent someone. He did the high holidays and then they say, you know, we want more than that. So they sent me. You know how to build communities, go there. I went there and I met the 5 amazing families. So we started with 5 people, right? In the Kabbalat Shabbat. And I want to tell you that this Yom Kippur, we had in our room 160 people for Yom Kippur. So it's Yom Kippur, right? Not every Shabbat. Yeah, don't. But sometimes we have 50, 60, 70 Kabbalat Shabbat. It's amazing. The Reform movement understood in one point, if you want to be accessible, people won't come. They won't take the car half an hour to find, like some of you does here, right? They won't take a car half an hour to some Reform synagogue. No, if you want them, it should be in your city. As long as you're accessible, people will come because they want this, but they won't do the effort. I have 30 bar bat mitzvot in a year. It's amazing. And I will tell you another amazing thing. I don't know if you know it, but in Israel, you can't just buy a place and say, this is synagogue. You have to have the permission from the mayor and from the municipality that the place will be synagogue. Okay, you can't rent something. So it have to go to the meeting of the local, municipality, raise their hands, and they say you can have it. So we are the only synagogue in Israel, Reform, that got a place without being in court. Yes, it's a huge thing. Think about it. We have 50 communities all over Israel. Some of them have places, some of them not. It took us 7 years. We were like Bedouin, from place to place. Every time it was another place. My car was, I called it the tank of Chabad. I had it all in my car. You want Torah? I give you Torah. You want tefillin? I give you tefillin. Like everything was in my car. We were fighting over it. But the city of Shoham decided that they saw the growth of the community. And they decided that we should not go to court over that. I will tell you, there are mayors that tell the communities, please take me to court. Why? Because that's why they don't have to fight the Orthodox. You remember, you understand? It's like the politics is so difficult sometimes. So the mayor say, please take me to the court, and then I will have to give you. So now we didn't do that. We were succeeded. That's for another session. And I'm very, very proud of that. And I will tell you that just last week, so you know, there are changes in Israel right now, okay? So the colony, כן אומרים, מועצה? So the municipality raised their hand. All of them said yes. The two Orthodox just במקרה was not there. They was not there to not vote. It's okay. That's what they need to do for their people. It's okay for me. They vote. They gave us a place for 5 years. Why? Because now they gave us a land to build, not just a caravan, like a land to build. And this is amazing. And the mayor finished his job, now finished his 5 years, and someone else will come. And I was very scared. I told him, you know what? I don't know what will happen in the elections. We have the end of the month, we have elections in the municipality. I don't know what happened. I don't know who will come. But please make sure that when you leave, this is silence. So 2 days before I came here, I got WhatsApp from the mayor. That's WhatsApp from the mayor with him signing. He said, this is my last signing of my period of time here. Bless you. And he said, I'm very proud of what I did. So we are very proud, and I'm very proud of these 5 amazing kids over there. And they understand now more about how is it to be a Jew and how you take it seriously. And I want to say thank you for this diaspora, for teaching us how it should be. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. And so now we're going to move into the concluding section of our service. We're on page 586 as we rise for Elena.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishbechot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר
591
והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who we have loved and who we have lost. As I call the name of your loved one, I'll invite you to rise, honoring their memory. This Shabbat, we recall Helen Sue Abraham, Michael Abramovich, Peter Joel Barrick, Abraham Becker, Tilly Chorbursky, Frank Denny, Lillian Eckstein, Roberta Fitzgerald, Bonnie Friedman, Kenneth Gaffin, Vladimir Garrick, Samuel Green, Ida Grossman, Minnie Gussoff, Hannah Held, Louis Herman, Gustav Hollander, Martin Horowitz, Bonnie Horowitz, Samuel Cantor, Leah Kaplan, Miriam Cass, Leon Katz, Dora Kessler, Jerry Keels, Harry Klein, Eve Krebs, Solomon Lezerov, Anna Leaf, Dorothy Lowenthal, Molly Mackler, Gail Mandel, Joseph Mandel, Louis Miller, Seymour Moncarts, Arfasi Nagasa, Mary Opatot, Harold Passval, Janet Perlmeter, Paul Rosenfield, Lois Rosenkrantz, Robert Rubin, Anna Saracen, Robert Schneider, Isaac Schwartz, Fanny Solomon, Pearl Tucksher, Felice Wanger, Lawrence Wayne, Judy Weston, Dora Yaffe, and Henry Zwerling. And those who are in their Shiva and Shloshim periods of mourning, Jesse Safeman, uncle of Leanne Bass, Martin Horowitz, father of Amy Horowitz, and Irving Baracus, cousin of Emily Baracus. In addition, if there's anyone here who is in their 1 year period of mourning or who has a yard site not on this list, I'll invite you to rise and share their name with the community. We turn to page 598. We rise together as a community. Tomorrow morning, we'll be formally observing Yizkor, but I just want to pause before we actually recite. And for those who can't make it tomorrow morning, give you a chance to think of any other loved ones who you are mourning this holiday season. We join together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach v'yotei v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayei echon v'yom echon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv b'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitnomam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiram b'yama v'imru amen.
Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya,
V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. So this Shabbat kicks off a series of 3 Shabbatot in a row. I'll get to what's happening tomorrow night in a second, where we do have guest speakers. So tonight, we were blessed to hear from Rabbi Rinat. Thank you. Tomorrow, next week, where you're going to hear from.
Next week, Misha and Keti Chekchivili and Grishiavili, I totally killed Keti's last name, and their son Benny are joining us from Tbilisi, Georgia, the Republic of Georgia, as we are building a really meaningful sibling relationship with the progressive, newly forming progressive community in Georgia, in Tbilisi, and they are going to be our guests for the next couple of weeks, and particularly the next weekend. On Friday night, they are going to come and speak, really tell us about, like, on the ground for them, what it's been like making this change and including Jews in a liberal format, and eat lots of Georgian yummy food. So when you come on Friday evening, you will get to eat some food, and then Saturday night, you're welcome back to make Havdalah with us at 8 p.m. and to hear about the upcoming trip that we have planned in the end of June to return to Tbilisi and continue to do the work both with the liberal Jewish community that's building there and also with the greater interfaith community, of which we forged really beautiful friendships. So put it on your calendar.
Yes. And then I actually, we're going to skip a couple weeks in advance, not 3 right in a row. The first weekend in November, Michelle Kriegman, who is a member of our congregation, is going to be talking about her own family and their and what it means to be an Indigenous person in the United States, and what we can learn from, it's Indigenous Peoples Month, what we can learn from the experience of Native Americans and what that has to do with us as Jews.
Yep.
So,
And Michelle understands because she's both.
yes. And so in addition to that, this weekend is a big weekend. Not only are you going to become Bat Mitzvah, which we're so excited about, but tomorrow night is Simchat Torah. So because of the rain, we're not going to be on Church Street. Hopefully you got the email where you're moving, or we're officially calling it, to our rain location, which is Shomrei Emunah, which is right up the street from Church Street on Park Street. So come, be with us, dance with the Torah. 6 p.m. is kids stuff. 6:45 is adult.
Come anyway.
Yes.
Come anyway, even though it's not on Church Street, even though it's not here at Ner Tamid, come, please come. It's such a fun, wonderful night, and we want to celebrate it with you. Sounds good?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
let's finish.
Eyeballs on the screen one more time. We're going to end with this quote from our text, V'samachta b'chagecha v'ayita ach sameach. Only joy, make it happen. Here we go. I think, right? Yes, V'samachta.
V'samachta b'chagecha v'ayita ach sameach. 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 V'samachta b'chagecha v'ayita ach sameach.
Sameach and Shabbat Shalom, and we're going to make a festival kiddush.
Indeed we are.
Here we go. Savri. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei puri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, ורוממנו slow down, Meredith. ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו, ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה. שבתות למנוחה ומועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון. את יום חג השמיני חג עצרת, מקרא קודש זמן שמחתנו, מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים. Together, קיוונו
בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. קודשך באהבה ורצון, בשמחה ובששון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת וישראל הזמנים לחיים. Amen.
I'm here
Shabbat
really
Shalom.